It is one thing to start a business, and it is quite another to be able to build that business into a brand that allows the specific target market to clearly identify with your brand. This is one of the reasons why we at Global Capital Inc. has designed a unique program titled the 10X Branding and Marketing Bootcamp. This is a program that stands on three pillars. And once you understand these three pillars, it will give you, your business, your brand, a major competitive advantage. But just before I get into today's program, do permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Quotes. My new book, 10X Branding and Marketing, The Psychology of Doing Business, will be out very soon. I'm also the director of private equity investment for Global Capital Inc. Welcome once again. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build your brand to achieve larger than life impact at several different levels of the organization. And this is something that if you're in business or plan to get into business, you need to know. But also you as a private individual, it's important that you understand that you are also a brand. And the question that you must constantly be asking yourself is what type of brand you are. Are you a complementary brand, a supplementary brand, or the real thing that is called the premium brand? Absolutely important for you to be in that position of strength to know this. Now, the 10X Branded and Marketing Bootcamp that we have designed will first of all help you to understand the importance of corporate culture. So as we look at corporate culture, you're asking yourself, what steps can you take to build your corporate culture to achieve larger than life impact at four levels of the organization? The first level that you want to make impact is your workforce. The second area that you want to make impact is your target market. The third area that you want to make impact is the general public. And why? They may be your number one cheerleaders. And the last area that you want to make impact is on the company's bottom line. So in starting a business and getting into action, bringing yourself to that point to be able to take informed action as you build out your corporate culture to achieve larger than life impact on these four different areas of the organization is where your business becomes a brand and where your brand becomes relevant to people's dreams and hopes and aspirations. And this is what enables the business, the brand, and you to be more successful in life. Now, I'm going to spend some time talking about these four areas of impact, which we call your corporate culture being built out to achieve larger than life impact at four areas of the organization. So the area one is on your workforce. As you start your business, as you build out your brand, you must be deliberate in think tanking and brainstorming the kind of impact that you want to achieve with your workforce. And I'm happy to say that at Global Capital Inc., we have designed the program to help you in the think tanking and brainstorming process. We have designed a unique program titled Blanket Workplace self-actualization. And can you imagine this? That your entire workforce is highly motivated. They are also self-motivated and they're committed to moving your business to the next plateau of development. Can you imagine that? This is exactly what this program that we are proposing to you will allow you to achieve. Because here is where you create an environment where people are coming to work not just for pay, but they're coming to work because of the joy of being in the comfort zone, in the space that you have created. But to make your space a comfort zone, to make your space a space to die for, you have to incorporate the essential elements that is necessary to nurture that type of environment. And with this blanket workplace self-actualization, you are forced to ask yourself a number of critical issues and questions that are relevant to ensuring that the workforce is happy. It is by answering these questions or by asking these questions or taking informed action to build out your game plan to achieve impact at the workforce. This is what will enable you to achieve several things. And one of those things that you will achieve is one, you will receive or experience reduction in absenteeism. Are you aware of how much absenteeism affects the bottom line of the company? Tremendously. You will also be able to experience a reduction in staff turnover. Every time you have to employ a new staff, you have to invest in the recruitment, selection, placement, and training process, and that's a cost. Think about all of that being removed because of the fact that you have the right corporate culture, a corporate culture that is designed to have a larger life impact on the workforce. The workforce now will be highly motivated, self-motivated. They will be pushing themselves to increase productivity because they know that you're thinking about their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations. Because to help an individual to self-actualize, it goes beyond simply just providing end of week pay or end of month pay. A comprehensive approach must be taken into consideration. And I'm happy to say that we at Global Capital Inc., we have designed this thesis. Now, along with this, the second place that you want to have impact, you want to make impact, is with your specific target market. You want to make impact with your specific target market. And this is how you're able to start a business, build it out to be a brand that is 101% relevant to the consumers. When you build it out in such a way to achieve impact with the specific target market. But how is it that you can build your brand? What steps can you take to build your brand to ensure that it is 101% relevant to that specific target market? It simply means that you have to take the time to understand who you're targeting. And when you identify who you're targeting, you need to spend as much time to understand the target market, lifestyle, culture, social class groups, and reference groups. I'm happy to say that we have this program that is already built out for you. In fact, we have built the entire program into a book that we call the 10X Branding and Marketing Bootcamp. 10X Branding and Marketing, the psychology of doing business. We have an entire book to support this training initiative. Because if you're not making impact with the specific target market, you're not going to achieve the business strategic objective. So this program really helps you to understand the step-by-step approach that you can take to identify your target market, And once you identify your target market, is to invest the time, the talent, and the resources to understand their needs, wants, and expectations, dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And you can best do this by taking the time to understand their lifestyle, culture, social class, and groups and reference groups. Absolutely necessary. You see, many person starts a business, and you start a business without having a clue who you're targeting, the needs, wants, and expectation of your target market, the size, density, and dispersion of your target market. You don't have this kind of information, and that's why your business fails. This is why your business never becomes a brand, and that is why your brand is never able to make a larger than life impact on the specific target market. So these data, these unique programs that we are building out for you will help you to make that larger than life impact. The third stage here is that you also want to make impact on the general public. The general public may not be consumers of your product, but guess what? They may know about your brand, and they may be willingly able to recommend and refer your brand to other users. There are many adults that may never use baby oil from Johnson and Johnson, but not because they're not using it for themselves, they're not going to refer someone to use it. Perhaps they might have had good experience with it when they were nurturing their children. Perhaps they would have had good experience with it hearing from other persons, and they refer the brand to you. So the same thing can happen when you're able to build your brand to achieve that type of impact with the general public. And there's so much more that we can talk to you about when you get into our master classes as to how this platform can be leveraged. The general public can be leveraged. The last area that we're going to talk at here on the first point is you want your business to be able to achieve large in life impact and its ability to cash flow maximize. You want your business to have impact on the bottom line. You want your corporate culture to be built out in such a way to be a brand that is loved by your employees, is loved by the specific target market, it's loved by the general public. And with this in mind, here is where you can get the swing vote, where your brand can have larger life impact on these three categories of people, and by extension, put you in a position of strength to cash flow maximize your business, your brand, your ideas. This is why this program that we have designed, the 10X Branding and Marketing Bootcamp, is so unique. And we are excited to bring this program to you. So in 2021 and beyond, I want to encourage you to call us and get registered for this program. All introductory programs are free. So if you're in business and you're thinking about getting into business, this program is for you. If you are an individual who is concerned of how you present yourself to the public, this is the program for you. If you're the individual that wants to know how to position your public speaking career, your writing career, your leadership career, to build it up to be a brand that is in demand, this program is for you. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about, the second pillar of this program, is all about your corporate culture being built out to withstand domestic and foreign threat. You see, in starting a business and in building a brand, you are not insulated from the element of elements of competition, and competition can be ruthless. Competition don't have to be based on any factual data, but I've seen competition try to find the most underhand approach to undermine the growth of businesses and brand. There are people that believe that they have more entitlement to others, or regardless of how they think about their brand, they just don't want you in a space, and they will do every single thing practically possible to eliminate you out of the market space. Now, in doing business, I want to say this to you: you have to have a mind like steel. And I mean, literally, you have to have a tough mind. You have to have tough skin. And you have to be prepared in some cases to throw the first shot. Because doing business and building a brand, especially when you're escalating your brand to a global level, there are many players who might be a little myopic in their thinking who would not want you in the market space. Now, you got to make an informed and educated decision if you will allow their desire to influence how you manage your business. Now, if you're going to allow their desire to get you out of the business to influence your business decision, it's best you don't get into business at all. So I want to be honest with you because this is the reality of business. And I myself had some of those personal experiences which we would have had to navigate. And as you come into our masterclass, I certainly will be sharing some of those experiences with you. We believe that political entity can try to marginalize you. We believe that private sector institutions can try to marginalize you. And we have the general public in cases by just moving on perception. They can try to marginalize your brand by spreading a lot of mistruth. So these are things that is important for you to know. But at the second level, when we talk about your corporate culture being built to withstand domestic and foreign threats, these are some of the things that you must think about. When you're introduced to guerrilla warfare or guerrilla marketing, there's such thing as guerrilla marketing. You are literally exposed to how to implement, design and implement systems to achieve your business strategic objective. As time progresses, I will talk to you about guerrilla warfare between China's products and American products, and what each party tend to do to defend themselves and maintain ownership and leadership in the market space. So in doing business, particularly in looking at domestic threats and foreign threats, you need to constantly do your SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And here is where you have to be extremely aggressive in this regard. You have to be a lover of primary market data and have the ability to leverage that kind of information to give your business the competitive advantage. And this is no one-time exercise. It is an exercise that has to be done on an updated and continuous basis. And you need to know this. So this program is really designed to really help you to understand the three pillars of the 10X Branding and Marketing Bootcamp will really get you prepared to take leadership, to take ownership in the world of business. Now, foreign direct attacks and foreign direct investments, while it can have positive impact on the economy, as a private sector leader, you are also fully aware of what it can do to destabilize your business and by extension, your income stream, and by extension, your comfortable lifestyle. But that's the nature of business. Because when foreign direct investment comes in, depending on the standards in the country and your standard as an entrepreneur, can ultimately predetermine how long you will survive in business. You have to be flexible in business. You have to be able to adapt to current trends, and you have to be able to influence new trends in the market. In my space, I am constantly identifying new innovative ways of doing things and trying to identify market gaps and market niche and ensure that we are the first in some of them. Yes, in many cases, we would have been the first in many areas, but we did not go after brand visibility. So someone else came after us and they tried to take the market. But this time we are laughing because of the fact that we know that it is a superior brand, and to catch up with us is no easy task. All right. So we are laughing as others try to catch up and others try to declare that they are the first to come in. But this is the true nature of business, and you have to be flexible enough to change with the tide. In some cases, create your own wave and charter your own course in the market. But when foreign direct investment comes in, it's important for you to also recognize that they're coming well prepared because they're coming with the talent, they're coming with the capital, they're coming with the experience. And I love talking about capital because depending on which part of the world you're at, you might be dependent on capital from the DCM, the debt capital market, at high interest rate. So you really can't compete with a man that is leveraging equity capital, and you don't have to worry about paying dividends on that capital yield for perhaps some time. You certainly don't have to pay out dividend yield on a monthly basis. Once you take debt from the DCM, you're saddled with monthly debt amortized, obligation. So foreign direct deal comes with the capital from the DCM, capital from the ECM. They know how to raise smart capital, and they also know how to leverage credit capital markets. And in fact, many developing country may just be saddled with the DCM. So this program really helps you to understand how to prepare yourself to deal with domestic and foreign threat. And as you become enlightened and aware of these attacks that can come, it's only smart and prudent that you do the next best thing, and that's to take action, inform action to protect your business, protect your brand against any attack, domestic or foreign. And the attacks will come. I must say to you, the attacks will come in some form or some fashion. I've been in business long enough to know that it's not going to be a smooth trail. But when you start to vibrate and levitate and elevate yourself above the noise, there is where you may have some smooth sail, and perhaps not even then. Because I'm telling you that the attacks can come from unsuspected places, and you need to be aware of this. Now, the last pillar that we're going to talk about today is what we call your corporate culture being built out to achieve maximum business conversion. So we talk about your corporate culture, the business conversion factors. Now, here is where, as a business owner who is building a brand, as an entrepreneur who wants to achieve larger life impact in the business conversion process, you're asking yourself, how best can I roll out my brand? What is my brand intention, value traits? And in this regard, you must be clearly aware that you're in business to add value. You're in business to fix problems. These are the main reasons why you're into business. If you're in business and the key focus is just cash flow maximization, if the key focus is just cash flow maximization, you got problems. It's important that you put your business and brand in a position of strength where it can clearly demonstrate that it can add value and it can fix problems. So here is where you want to put tremendous emphasis on your value proposition. You want to put tremendous emphasis on your brand intention value trait. And you need to build out the systems to ensure that the brand intention value trait is clearly communicated to the specific target market. All right, it is clearly communicated to the specific target market. Now, the ability to clearly communicate the brand intention value trait, which is to add value and fix problem to the specific target market, the ability to do this, it is what is going to aid you in what we call the business conversion factors. In this regard, as you communicate that information and you're able to get the potential consumers to become consumers, from the time they become first-time users, there must be a game plan to ensure that they become lifetime customers. Not because you want to cash flow maximize, but because your brand intention value trait is designed to make impact on the lives of the consumers. Now, the reality is this. Once you build your business and build your brand to achieve larger than life impact on the consumers, to add value, to fix problems, the last thing that you have to worry about is the cash flowing potential of your organization. But do you have this mindset? It is time that you get out of the hustling mindset. And it's time that you put yourself in that position of strength where you are taking the time to understand your target market, understand their needs and wants and expectations, and build out a brand that can genuinely speak to those needs, wants, and expectations. This is how you're able to maximize on the business conversion factors and achieve a larger than life impact with your specific target market. This is applicable whether you're in business. This is applicable whether you're a public speaker. It's applicable whether you're a motivational teacher. It's applicable across life. If you're in a relationship and you're seeing that relationship only as a cash cow, don't you think the person will eventually see that you are just using and exploiting them and you're not bringing any value to the table? If even you're gaining, but you're not giving anything, what's going to happen? They will exercise the freedom of choice at some point, and the freedom of choice where they're going to go and carry their business elsewhere. So that means that your business conversion factor is not working. You're not able to convert first-time users into lifetime customers because you got a lousy corporate culture. And because you need to take the time to understand more about how to build out your corporate culture to achieve larger than life impact. Now, I want to put a challenge to the public. The world today is faced with the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. And I see many of my colleagues across the world who are in business. Many of them had no choice but to lay off their employees or put their employees on half pay, work rotation. I want you to ask yourself the question about your corporate culture and your corporate culture being built out to think ahead. And as a think ahead, it's adopting the appropriate leadership style that can cater to the needs, wants, and expectations of your employees. It is not enough for you to give lip service, and that is to say that my employees are my team, they're a family. And when crisis like that arises, they feel as though they have been thrown under the bus or as though you dropped the mic on them. Now, I'm saying this because of the fact that we have designed programs which can be easily incorporated into your corporate culture to help you to upgrade your corporate culture design by simply adopting programs like one, the corporate paycheck protection program. Let me talk before about the corporate cash flow protection program. Many companies are losing money. Many companies are hemorrhaging. And in our financial intelligence program, we will always talk about this. Companies are making money and they're doing well. The excess liquidity is sitting in a 0.1 interest bearing account or is somewhere getting dust. And I asked the question, what if that capital can be leveraged and give you a 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10% interest return on the investment? Is it possible? Yes, it is. Can that 10% compounded over a period of time build up a decent amount of reserve that can serve as a part of your corporate cash flow protection program? Yes, it can. There are domestic programs that can be leveraged. There's regional programs that can be leveraged, and there are international programs that can be leveraged to help you achieve the corporate paycheck, corporate cash flow protection programs. Even in cases where the particular policy is not in existence, the reason that we have structures is because structures are able to build these financial securities. There's a reason why we have quants to not only build it, but to support and pricing it and give you the hedge to protect you against any risk. So it's possible. And these are things that we help you to understand when we're helping you to build out a more sensitive corporate culture, a more market-oriented culture, and a culture that is relevant to global changes that is taking place. So the first program that we can help you with is titled the Corporate Cash Flow Protection, where you don't have to worry about cash flow, losing cash flow in a pandemic. And that's only one example in which I've given you. There are a mountains of other possibilities that we can look at for you. So when you come into our consultations, these are things that we will be able to talk to you about. Secondly, we talk to you about your corporate cash flow protection programs. As an employer, think about it. So you have your corporate cash flow protection working, but now you have your corporate paycheck protection working too. How do you think your staff will think about you? Just think about it. You know, there's no pressure, but just think about it. How do you think that your staff will think about you to know that your organization has developed a corporate paycheck protection program for them? Do you think that they will love you more? Do you think that they will see you as exercising social responsibility at a higher level? Do you think that they will be more loyal to your company? Do you think that it will increase productivity? If you roll it out in the right way, the way that we are prepared to work with you, believe me, all of the above can be made real. The beauty about all of this, it don't have to cause you zilch. If you work with the right PFA, professional financial advisors, personal financial advisor, setting these programs up don't have to cost you zilch. That's the beauty about it. So why not? You have none to lose. Now, along with this, we talk about the personal paycheck protection program. You as an individual in the workplace or not, you need to start thinking ahead of all of these things. When you are positioning yourself to be a premium brand or you're a premium brand, you want to ensure that you have sustainable cash flow. So I'm going to stop here for today, but we have designed a number of programs to help businesses, to help the private individual, and also to help government agencies to build a better brand. and to develop these unique programs that can really allow them to make larger than life impact on their specific target market, on their internal workforce, on the general public, and on the cash flowing potential of their organization. Now, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and get registered because all introductory programs are free. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Code. My new book, 10X Branding and Marketing, will be out very soon, and I want to encourage you to keep following me to get copies of those books from the time it gets out. I'm also the director of private equity investments for Global Capital Inc. It has been such a pleasure being with you, and I look forward to doing this on a daily basis with you, for you, with a passion. Remember, we're in a period of COVID-19, and I want to encourage you to be safe and protect yourself, protect your loved ones, protect those closest to you. And I see you in tomorrow's podcast. Drop a note below and let us know what are your thoughts about these programs so we can get better if we need to get better, or look at areas that we need to look at to ensure that you're getting the kind of information, the support that you need to build a better brand. Be blessed. See you soon.